We have a lot of exciting news going on with Ethereum. It smashed through $3,000 per coin, just skyrocketed through that. And it's already starting to approach that $3,500 per coin. And I think this is just the beginning for where we can see it go. I think we could see it reach all the way up to $15,000 per coin this year. Overtake Bitcoin as the number one spot in terms of market cap for cryptocurrencies. And there's a lot of big things going on with Ethereum right now. So first of all, the other day we saw over 400,000 Ethereum coins flowing out of Coinbase. And this is a really big deal because what it shows is that we're most likely seeing a lot of institutional investors starting to buy Ethereum. Before this, we had not seen many institutional investors, big whales, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. We had seen most of them stick to only Bitcoin, like we saw Visa and MasterCard and all these other companies starting to get into Bitcoin. We saw Elon Musk and Tesla buy about $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin has been being purchased by institutional investors. We have Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. We have a lot of other ways that institutions can invest in Bitcoin. But now we start to have these Ethereum ETFs, which have been approved in Canada, and now institutions are starting to get into Ethereum. And that is why we're seeing this massive inflow of capital into it over the last couple days. 400,000 coins flowed out of Coinbase on a single day just a couple weeks ago. That is huge. So that's the first thing going on. Institutions are starting to get into Ethereum. In addition to this, we're also seeing two big upgrades that are set to take place within the next couple of months for Ethereum. The first is EIP 1559 and the other one is ETH 2.0. So both of these, essentially what they're going to do is, in some ways, they're going to either reduce fees for Ethereum, or what they're also going to do is help with the supply. So they're going to essentially act like a deflationary asset. It's going to reduce the supply of Ethereum. Less supply, and there's the same demand. Well, supply and demand, it's going to automatically increase the price of Ethereum. And the third thing, what is going on right now is that also there is a surge in DeFi volume. So decentralized finance, big trend, big thing that's happening right now in just the currency world, not just cryptocurrency, just all across in finance in general. And decentralized finance, so Ethereum has NFTs, it has smart contracts and everything like that have a lot of different use cases. And for all of these different use cases, now we're starting to see Ethereum, a lot more money is being transacted on the platform. We're seeing a lot going on with Ethereum and that. Just the other day, it surpassed Platinum for the first time ever in terms of assets. It put that as the 33rd most valuable asset in the world. Now Ethereum is even more valuable than Bank of America, and it is slowly starting to creep up to that $400 billion market cap. Right now, we have the market cap of Ethereum at $383 billion. This is massive. Important thing we're seeing here is that Ethereum is really starting to get the attention of institutional investors. Ethereum is starting to take a lot of eyeballs away from Bitcoin because Bitcoin is essentially just a digital gold. Ethereum, on the other hand, Ethereum has a lot more use cases with smart contracts, NFTs, decentralized finance in general. So a lot more people are looking towards the use cases of Ethereum, and I think we're going to definitely see Ethereum surpass Bitcoin in terms of market cap very, very soon. We saw Bitcoin reach all-time highs of $65,000 per coin just a couple weeks ago, has not yet recovered since then. Ethereum, on the other hand, has recovered and skyrocketed well past those previous record highs, now well into that $3,000 per coin range, and I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon, which is a really, really exciting thing to see with Ethereum, smart contracts, NFTs, and decentralized finance in general. Really, my opinion is once we start to see Ethereum ETFs in the US, that's going to be a massive, massive thing for Ethereum. We already saw 3 different Ethereum ETFs be approved in Canada and other countries around the world, but once we see it in the US, that will be a really, really positive impact on Ethereum. The SEC, they just delayed the decision on approving a Bitcoin ETF, actually, and this is really big news because there's been a lot of talks about Bitcoin ETFs for a while now. Institutions have wanted multiple ways to invest in Bitcoin for a while. Right now, they can invest directly into Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. They can invest into Coinbase, which has exposure to all cryptocurrencies. But to have the underlying Bitcoin, to actually own underlying Bitcoin, they can't invest directly into Bitcoin, but if they could, they can invest into, let's say, a Bitcoin ETF. And now the SEC officially delayed this decision, and this is important because right now they have close to a dozen different requests to approve different Bitcoin ETFs, and they said really why they're not approving it right now is for like 3 different reasons. They said the first reason is that Bitcoin is very volatile. Volatility is something that they have a hard time comprehending, a hard time approving this, because the SEC just has a difficult job balancing the desire that people have to invest into Bitcoin and balancing that desire with the risk and the volatility behind Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. The second thing is with market maturity. So previously, for the last couple of years, a lot of different companies have asked for approval to release a Bitcoin ETF. But previously, the cryptocurrency market was much smaller. There wasn't as much traction in it. It was just, more of an idea, not as much of actual use cases. But now people are starting to accept it more. And because the market has matured a lot more for cryptocurrencies in general, I think we're going to see them start to, change their mind and see this, start to think that approving a Bitcoin ETF is the right thing to do. Third thing going on is that the SEC has a lot on its plate. So Canada approved 3 different Ethereum ETFs earlier this year. Brazilian regulators reportedly approved 2 Bitcoin ETFs. And now we're seeing many other countries around the world start to approve Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency ETFs. So this is really important. This may actually be a positive for the US and us seeing a Bitcoin ETF soon, because it could pressure regulators into not being so far behind. Make sure they stay up to date, make sure they get something passed so other countries don't get ahead. They don't want people putting capital into other markets. They want to make sure all the capital stays in US markets. So those are signs of why we could see one happen sooner, where the SEC officially did announce that they are delaying the approval of a Bitcoin ETF, delaying their decision on it. So we're still going to see a couple more weeks at least until we see a decision made. They said there's a 45-day window for the VanEck Bitcoin ETF, which they just recently extended. It was supposed to end on May 3rd, but they did extend that for a couple more weeks. So we'll see what happens there. But once this is approved, I think we'll see a lot more institutions, even more so than we're already seeing, start to get into Bitcoin. Because while we have seen the price increase drastically over the last couple of weeks and, over the last year, the big thing to remember is that still a large portion of institutions and companies don't invest in Bitcoin. And that is something that we will just see over time. So yes, there are, companies like Tesla. There are companies that have invested hundreds of millions, billions of dollars into Bitcoin, but majority of them still are not invested. So for people who think they're late into Bitcoin, late into Ethereum, you're definitely not late, because most of the big money, the large institutions, still don't invest in Bitcoin. It is just something that they don't understand or they think is too risky. So once we're starting to see these Bitcoin ETFs approved, we're going to see more and more capital flow into Bitcoin, causing the price to skyrocket significantly. I think pushing it well above that $100,000 per coin range. Cardano price will double in August, according to crypto experts, and I think this is a very, very strong possibility, because right now Cardano has had some major announcements recently between a partnership that was confirmed with the Ethiopian education minister. They confirmed a major partnership that's going to implement, that's going to affect 5 million Ethiopian students all across the country. In addition to this, we're also seeing a big upgrade for Cardano. They're going to introduce smart contracts, which is a really big deal as well. So first of all, with the Ethiopian education minister, they recently confirmed this partnership with Cardano, and it is a really big deal, because essentially what it's going to do is it's all about bringing technology to improve the quality of education. Everyone's always asking, what are the use cases for all these different cryptos? They're just like ideas. People don't understand crypto. But this is an actual use case for crypto, and it's very practical. Essentially, what it is 5 million Ethiopian students are going to receive a Cardano blockchain-based ID that will allow the ministry to track their academic performance. So essentially, it's a way for the Ethiopian Education Council council essentially to track what is going on with students, how their progress is in school, and how education in the country is working as a whole. According to the minister, the Ethiopian government struck a deal with a Chinese manufacturer of tablet computers, which will be distributed to the students, which will then allow them to have their own Cardano blockchain-based ID. In addition to this, the minister said that 750,000 teachers will get access to the system as well. So 5 million students are going to have their own Cardano blockchain-based ID. 750,000 teachers are going to have access to the system as well. And this is a really big deal because it's one of the first real-world applications on a large scale that we're seeing with cryptocurrencies. Yes, we're seeing companies start to accept Dogecoin. Yes, we're seeing companies accept Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's a lot of uses for NFTs and smart contracts, but this is one of the first huge applications we're seeing with not one of the top cryptos out there, with not like Bitcoin or Ethereum. This is Cardano. It is in the top 10, but it's not the top 2. So it's big to see a massive, massive partnership with the Ethiopian education minister that's going to essentially set the stage for other countries in the future. 5 million students is not a small thing at all. That is a big deal. And in addition to this, we're having smart contracts, which are huge. Right now, Ethereum already has smart contracts. Big deal with Ethereum. That's why we're seeing it excel so much recently. But with Cardano, Alonzo, which is their next protocol upgrade, they're going to build in capabilities for smart contracts. And Alonzo will add support for smart contracts, digital agreements to Cardano about 4 months from now. So within the next 3 to 4 months, it'll open up opportunities for businesses and developers by allowing the creation of smart contracts and decentralized applications for DeFi, decentralized finance. So this is a big deal. This is why we're seeing so much potential, so much money flowing into Ethereum right now because of decentralized finance, smart contracts, and all of the different use cases with Ethereum. So now that we're seeing Cardano going to have smart contracts already starting to implement their technology into governments around the world, this is a really big deal for Cardano. And I think we could see Cardano's market cap and price skyrocket drastically from where it is. Right now, it's currently ranked number 7 in terms of market cap, $41 billion, around $1.30 per coin. If all of these things continue to go well, if we see this partnership with the Ethiopian education minister go well, if we see smart contracts rolled out effectively, people start using them more, we can easily see this price double, especially with all of the tension starting to go towards crypto and all of the different use cases, because everyone knows there's so many different cryptocurrencies out there, but once we start to see things like companies, businesses, governments actually start to accept them and use them, those are going to be the ones that are going to really skyrocket and do well in the future. So this partnership with Ethiopia is a really, really big deal. Now on to Bitcoin. So another $100 million was invested into Bitcoin by a large publicly traded institution. So Asian video game publisher Nexon just bought $100 million in Bitcoin. We've already seen other major companies pour hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars into Bitcoin. We saw Tesla, we've seen MasterCard, we've seen Visa, all have either partnerships or invest a lot of money into Bitcoin and crypto in general. But this South Korean Japanese video game publisher said it made $100 million purchase of Bitcoin, adding itself to other companies like Tesla, MicroStrategy, and other companies that have used corporate cash, a significant part of their balance sheet, to load up on the top dog in the cryptocurrency space, which is Bitcoin. Nexon said they purchased 1,717 Bitcoins at an average price of $58,000. And now we're really starting to see publicly traded companies get into Bitcoin. Previously, they had stuck away from it. Now we're starting to see companies get into Bitcoin specifically, and now the more adventurous ones, the ones that are looking for maybe other use cases, more returns, they're looking into Ethereum as well. Bitcoin has really started to level off its price. Its price has not been fluctuating as much as other cryptos out there. It's been much more stable, hovering between that $50,000 to $60,000 per coin range. And while we did see it reach record record highs of $65,000. It has not been nearly as volatile as all the other cryptos out there. So a lot of these companies, large institutions, they're starting to pour more money into Bitcoin for a couple of different reasons. First of all, now there are Coinbase, which had its IPO, so that they can invest in Coinbase, get exposure to Bitcoin. Also, there is Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and Bitcoin ETFs all around the world that have either been approved or are in talks of being approved. Canada has approved Bitcoin ETFs. The US has not, but they are in talks of currently doing that. In addition to this, we saw Facebook. There's been a lot of rumors about Facebook buying Bitcoin. They didn't buy Bitcoin, but we actually saw a bunch of crypto whales add over 90,000 Bitcoin to their portfolios in just the last 30 days. So Bitcoin whale addresses are people or companies that own over 10,000 Bitcoin, and these portfolios are continuing to add more. So the portfolios of Bitcoin, the accounts that have over $10,000 Bitcoin in them, these accounts added over 90,000 Bitcoin, $4.92 billion over the last 30 days. So that means the top dogs, the people who are the crypto whales for Bitcoin, are adding a lot. They are very bullish on it, and it doesn't look like they're slowing down anytime soon in terms of adding more and more Bitcoin. So while we didn't see Facebook add money just yet, there were rumors that they were going to add Bitcoin. I think we're going to see Facebook add Bitcoin or some sort of crypto to their balance sheet. If not within the next their next earnings report, within the next year, within the next 12 to 18 months, it would be shocking if they didn't add Bitcoin to their balance sheet, and even if they started to accept Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptos in general. So once we start to see more and more companies get into Bitcoin, I think we're going to see the price continue to skyrocket from where it is, and I think we could easily see Bitcoin's price reach that $100,000 per coin range, especially with the rate that institutions are adding Bitcoin to their wallet. 90,000 Bitcoin added to Bitcoin whale addresses over the last 30 days. That is a lot of money, about $5 billion. And I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. Dogecoin's price has been skyrocketing. Like, this is crazy. It has gone from less than a penny 6 months ago to now over 56 cents per coin. And this is so exciting because we have a lot of great news coming up with Dogecoin, between Elon Musk having his SNL skit where he already confirmed that he's going to be talking about Dogecoin. We already know what's going to happen. We also had Mark Cuban go on the Ellen DeGeneres show, say that the Dallas Mavericks have had 6,000 plus transactions of Dogecoin just in the month of April 2021. He suggested that the Ellen show accept Dogecoin. In addition to that, we saw Newegg start to accept Dogecoin. We see Houston Rockets accept Dogecoin. And now we're even having a petition and more talks going around, potentially Amazon adding Dogecoin to their form of payments. But the big news here is really that we're seeing Dogecoin skyrocket up the ranks of cryptos in terms of market cap. Right now, it has $73 billion market cap. Puts that as number 4 in terms of all cryptocurrencies out there. And this is something that most people thought we would never see. It's only behind Binance, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. To imagine that the cryptocurrency that people thought was created as a joke is now number 4 in terms of all cryptocurrencies out there. No one would have predicted this, and this is what we want to see. Elon Musk says fate loves irony. He says, wouldn't it be ironic? Wouldn't it just be really cool if we saw Dogecoin become the cryptocurrency of the world? The currency of the world, when everyone originally thought it was just created as a joke, it wouldn't go anywhere. And yes, it was created as a joke, but now with a $73 billion market cap, this puts it as more valuable than so many companies out there in the world. This puts it sort of in line with companies that are valued as high as NEO. It puts it really as high as some of the largest companies in the world. There's not too many companies that have market caps of $100 billion. And Dogecoin is getting very, very close. $73 billion. It puts it as like twice the market cap of Twitter, twice the market cap of Ford. It's valued more than Honda, and it is not a joke at all. I think now that we're seeing this much money being poured into Dogecoin, this much confidence in it, I think we're going to see more and more stores, retailers, businesses start to accept it. And by doing so, it's really making Dogecoin turn to reality. And I think we're going to see Dogecoin easily reach that $1 per coin very, very soon. Leading up until Elon Musk's SNL skid, I think we're going to continue to see it skyrocket, continue to see it on an upward trajectory. I think once it happens, we're probably going to see a bit of a pullback. Obviously, there's no way of knowing, but I think a lot of the hype built up around Elon Musk, the SNL skid, what's going to happen there, is really being priced in right now as we speak. I think afterwards, we're going to see a bit of a drop off, but right now, this is when we're seeing all of the excitement around Elon Musk, SNL, and everything like that. One thing to keep in mind, though, is I think there's no way to confirm this right now, but there must be, in my opinion, some sort of large either whale account or institution that is pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into Dogecoin. Could it be Tesla? It's possible. Could it be another company? I think that's very possible because yesterday, the volume for Dogecoin was at $5 billion. That means the amount that was traded back and forth within the last 24 hours, yesterday when we looked at it, was $5 billion. Today, that is $35 billion. The amount that's been transacted back and forth has increased $30 billion for Dogecoin. So someone or, either one company, a group of companies, a lot of retail investors, a combination of all of that, they are starting to pour a lot more money into Dogecoin because to see it go from $5 billion in 24-hour volume to $35 billion overnight, that can't just be retail investors, in my opinion. I think there has to be some sort of large company out there, whether that's Tesla putting their profits from Bitcoin into Dogecoin, whether that's another company. I think we have to be seeing some sort of whale account, someone with hundreds of millions or billions of dollars pouring money into Dogecoin because it is so unlikely that we're seeing a $30 billion jump in terms of volume in a 24-hour time period without seeing some sort of institutions or big wallets getting into play. It's just not possible. It's very, very unlikely that we'd see that much of an increase in 24 hours without seeing large institutions, large accounts starting to pour money into it. So let me know what you guys think, but I think Dogecoin is on its way to potentially becoming the number 3 crypto out there. I don't think it's going to pass Ethereum, but I definitely think it could be number 3 past Binance coin very, very soon. If it were to do that, I think we'd see it close, it'd start approaching that $1 per coin range. But let me know what you guys think. I think we have to be seeing some whale accounts, institutions pouring money into Dogecoin, which could mean we'll hear some big announcements come out very, very soon. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 4 free stocks, each valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.